Today I'm going to record a professional drum track using this setup. How? Well, let me explain. You see, when you record live acoustic drums, you typically set up multiple mics. A mic or two for your snare, for your kick, one for each tom, and overhead mics to capture the cymbals and room ambiance. Drum triggering or drum doubling is a post-production technique where software is used to analyze each of these recorded drum tracks. And when it sees a peak from a hit, it places a perfect sample of that drum in that exact spot. These samples are then layered into the original recording to make it more punchy and polished, or the samples can be used to completely replace the original takes. Knowing this, I have wondered for years whether or not you could lay down a legit drum performance without a drum set. Because it seems to me as long as you have enough mics and enough things to hit, the software should be able to replace each of those hits with professional samples, giving us the sound of a legit drum kit. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna put that theory to the test. Let's dive in. All right, let's take a look at the awesome setup I'm gonna be using today. First and foremost, the desk. I've played a lot of desks in my day, but the Alvin & Company drafting table takes the cake. So this spot right here, this is gonna be my snare drum. This old vintage 8mm movie camera, this will be my hi-hat. Coffee cup number 1, Crash. Coffee cup number 2, Ride. And this Horses Showcase book, that's gonna be my floor tom. And down below, we got a nice office mat down here. I'm gonna be tapping my foot, and that's gonna be our kick drum. And of course, my sticks. A lot of people play with ProMark, a lot of people play with Vic Firth, but me personally, I prefer Dollar General number 2s. And with that being said, we're all mic'd up here, so let's get it rolling. All right, so I think we got a good take. We're not gonna know how this is gonna turn out until we get into the studio, so let's jump over there right now. So I have all 6 mics lined up and ready to go inside Logic Pro 10, along with the video feed so we can see it all come together. First things first, we're gonna dub the kick drum, but before we do, let's check out the raw audio. Wow, it sounds absolutely terrible, but not for long because we're gonna use Logic's drum doubling feature to replace each of those taps with a perfect kick sample. So here we got the kick mic selected. We're gonna go on up the track and go down to replace or double a drum track. And boom, just like that, a MIDI sample of a kick drum is placed on every single hit. Let's give it a listen. This is pretty wild. Next, let's do the snare drum. Again, as a reference, let's check out the raw take. Sounds absolutely terrible, but again, we're gonna use the software to replace that with a real snare drum. This time with the snare track selected, we're gonna go on up the track, down to replace or double drum track, and boom, it gives me all the snare samples I need. That being said, I can already tell by looking at this that there are a few additional samples due to extra drum hits that were picked up by the mic. So I'm gonna go through and make sure there are only samples where the snare needs to be. Let's give it a listen. So this is the process I'm gonna follow for the rest of the tracks, so let's just jump ahead to that. All right, guys, I got the drums doubled. Check this out. Now, we're not done yet because this channel's not called Drums by Spencer, it's called Songs by Spencer. And this drum track is actually for a brand new song I wrote recently about the depression that I've been struggling with over the past few months. I'm bubbly and happy in these videos, but I'm human. And over the past few months, I've been dealing with a lot of depression. Thankfully, music has always been an outlet for me to express my feelings, and today's song is no exception. I'm really excited to share the song with you. It really comes from the heart. But before I do, I just want to say that music is a language that transcends all barriers, and it can be made with anything that produces sound. You don't need expensive instruments or state-of-the-art equipment to create music that moves people. All you need is passion, creativity, and a willingness to experiment. Some of the greatest art comes out of a limitation, where the artist is forced to think outside of the box and innovate. I hope this inspires you to rethink what's possible by making the most of what's around you. And with that, here's a song with a drum track performed with pencils at a desk.
Falls apart, and there's no one there to pick it up for you. I'm searching for the answers, but there is no user manual for a life. So what am I to do? I don't feel good. Is there a reason that I should? I'm a screw up and a total dweeb,
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment letting me know what you would like to see next. And with that, this has been Songs by Spencer, signing out.